Public Work and Agenda Setting Board Meeting of the Leechburg Area School District. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Roll call, please. Here.
Mrs. Dunbar. Mrs. Knight. Here. Mr. Lepish. Here. Mr. Lovelace. Here. Mr. Max.
Here.
Mr. Paul.
Here.
Ms. Stewart. Here. Mr. Thompson. Here.
An executive session was conducted prior to the public meeting at 5:30 p.m. January 8th, 2025 in the Leechburg Superintendent's office to discuss legal issues, contracts, and personnel. We have our student representative report.
Good evening. The Leechburg Drama Club's fall play was featured on KDKA Channel 2 News, where our own drama club seniors, Katie Monroe and John Rowan, were interviewed, as well as the director of the drama club, Mrs. Alyssa Bruno Walls. So, yeah, it was just something nice that we got featured. It was under their kind of good moments around here area segment. So, yeah, it was nice.
It was nice. You're right. The Science Club took a trip to Phibbs Conservatory on Friday, January 3rd. The Science Club had a good time and learned about different plants as well as they interact with the environment. And then tomorrow, January 9th, the Quiz Bowl team will be going to Franklin Regional for the first meet of the season. The team will be facing other schools such as Franklin Regional, Apollo Ridge, Kiski, Freeport, and Burl.
This Saturday, January 11th, the Leechburg Drama Club will be holding auditions for the spring musical, Once Upon a Mattress. Auditions will be held in the auditorium at 9 a.m. If any other students are interested in auditioning, they must pick up an audition packet from the auditorium to fill out before auditions this Saturday. And that's all I have. All we have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any public comment on agenda items this evening? Nothing. Aaron, intermediate unit report, Ms. Stewart.
We did not meet in December, so
Okay.
I have nothing.
Thank you. Mr. Lovelace, Lenape report.
Senator Joe Pittman had his annual open house and was chaired by Lenape. Adult Education Information Night was held on January the 9th, and the next GOC meeting will be on January the 16th at 6:30.
Thank you. There has been no Armstrong County Tax Collection Committee meeting. Mr. Paulus, the PSBA member liaison report.
Thanks, Ashley. There will be a virtual board officer training on Saturday, January 11th. You can sign up on mypsba.org. PSBA this year is celebrating 130 years of service, dating all the way back 130 years ago. January is also School Director Recognition Month, which we'll be talking about just a little bit more with the stuff in front of us. There's a talk on the ideas, there's a webinar, of building strong school communities through civil discourse held on Saturday, February 1st. This is also online. You can sign up on mypsba.org. And finally, on February 21st, there will be a right to know law compliance for updates and recommendations. It's also another webinar that you will be able to attend by signing up on mypsba.org. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
Thank you. Administrative reports, Dr. Vargo.
Good evening. Hope everybody had a restful break and enjoyed the holiday season. So we're back in session. We had a bit of a herky-jerky start with the weather and everything like that, but kids are back in the swing of things. So this month we had started the Student of the Month celebrations. So in the past couple meetings, I've spoken about the staff working together, deciding what the criteria was, what we've settled on, and what that process would be. So just as a refresher, we have 5 criteria. A lot of those things revolve around leadership, self-discipline, being proactive, being an advocate for yourself, and the kind of some characteristics underneath that. So what we did was that I opened it up and had teachers nominate students from the middle school and the high school that they felt we're exemplifying those characteristics throughout the month of November and December. From the results there, we had over 20 nominees for each building. And from those nominees, I put that back out to the staff for the staff members to vote upon, which led us to our first winners for the Student of the Month. So we had our first celebration today. It was for middle school. I'm proud to say that our first winner for the middle school of the year was Chloe Lepish. She's done an outstanding job. It was a surprise to her. We had some donuts and fruit and a confetti cannon, and Dad didn't shoot Chloe in the face, which is a good thing with that. So we avoided those types of things. Tomorrow, weather permitting, hopefully we'll be able to have the high school one. I can't let you know who the high school one because that person doesn't know, so that's a surprise reveal. But I will let Dr. Keebler know, and he can update you guys, and I'll bring that up at the next board meeting. In addition to that, for all the nominees that obviously, that we only had one winner for each building, I did send a follow-up email to let those students know, hey, we're watching. Congratulations on your nomination. We appreciate the elite work. And I let the student know who the teacher or teachers were that nominated them, for that. And I also CC'd their parents, what was in Power School on that. The high school ones they're scheduled to go out tomorrow after we do the high school celebration there. So all in all, I thought it was a great experience. We have some great pictures. We'll get them up eventually there on the website and get Chloe and the high school's winners on the board out there. And they also got to sign the belt. I'm sure you'll see pictures of that. So it was a great experience, and hopefully it's something that we can continue to work on and work throughout the remainder of the year and into next year and beyond that. Also had department head meeting. We're just kind of finalizing, looking over, kind of polishing up the program of studies that'll get presented, hopefully, weather permitting, again on Monday for the education committee, which will set us up for scheduling. There's been a ton of work. I appreciate everybody's effort into that, into those changes and reviewing and reflecting and giving some input on what changes were and how things should be and what we think would fit best for our students moving forward. So it was very labor intensive, and I appreciate everybody's effort, in making those changes and updates to the program of studies. Next week, we're maybe looking at starting the survey for the branding guide for students and stakeholders and throughout the community. So the Survey Monkey hopefully will go out, and students will have an opportunity, along with parents and staff, and anybody who's interested, we will be sending that out as well. It's just a six question survey, and then Johnston's their arm of it will, that deals with branding, they'll kind of condense that and present that, and that'll start the process. And I'll certainly keep you guys updated. And anybody who wants to be a part of that, I certainly invite. And anybody who wants to be a part of that, that'd be well received and appreciated. But other than that, we're looking to end out the second 9 weeks and turn to the second semester, and have a good spring. Any questions? Yes.
Are they making preparations for the 250th anniversary? That's only in 6 months.
I have not, but I'll be 250. That's big, so I think we probably should, right?
Get the students excited about
Sure.
it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's something we could certainly look into to kind of maybe dovetail that with that. I think that would time up pretty well. That'd be a good thing.
We'll work with the mayor on this, so I'll get some things up for that.
Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. Barker.
Hey there. As we concluded last year, I figured I would pull together a report for the technology department. So we've had a nice increase in the use of our help desk ticketing system, and so we had compared to in fall 2024 compared to the previous year, we've had about 68% more help desk tickets. That doesn't mean we have 68% more problems. It means that people are doing a great job of submitting help desk tickets, and then internally as a department, we're making sure to log those so we can easily track and prioritize them and sort of use those as a knowledge base going forward, which has been great. This past year, we had over 150 Chromebooks come down to us from the offices, and we did a bunch of repairs. So 59 times we replaced the unit, and sometimes that's covered under a manufacturer warranty. Sometimes it's due to broken screens or or a manufacturer defect, and other times it's just software problems. And we're able to fix most of those in-house. So we repair those in-house within the department. So that saves both the district and the students some money going forward. So we basically had 3 areas of focus this year: student support, staff and faculty support, and then enhancements to cybersecurity and physical plant security related to IT. So in terms of student support, we caught up on some of our Chromebook inventory. So some of our Chromebooks were getting a little bit older, so we were able to purchase a lot of those. We're going to do another major purchase next year and then get us on target. We streamlined the rate at which we replace those Chromebooks, so that makes it a lot more efficient. Over the winter break, we were able to get all the Creation Nation PCs set up. So that's what the students use for Adobe Photoshop and Premiere for image and video editing. So that's a big enhancement for those students. In the elementary school, we came out with a solution that students are able to use a badge to sign in, which makes it a lot more efficient, saves the teachers a bunch of time, and basically making sure technology isn't getting in the way of students. And then we rolled out for the ability for the high school and the elementary school secretaries to reset passwords. So we can get the students, if they forget their password, we can get them up and running much faster than what we used to be able to do. So for staff and faculty, we installed new copiers. I ran a report today, and since we installed the new copiers and we went to the new printing system, we printed 580,000 pages, which is a good amount. And there were a little bit of hiccups during the beginning, but they're running pretty smoothly now. We've rolled out self-service help desk tickets. So instead of calling the number all the time, phone number to log a ticket, people can log it from their computers 24/7, which is a nice enhancement. We're trying to increase our documentation and our intranet so that instead of people can help themselves. So that work is ongoing. And then security enhancements. So we're rolling out virus scan for Windows PCs. We've installed on about 55 Windows PCs. There's about 50 remaining to install. So that's going to be a nice cybersecurity enhancement. We're on now the latest version of PowerSchool that includes some security enhancements. We're also looking to add 6 additional security cameras, and we're looking for an install date of January or February for that. And we've also done a good job of getting people updated badges, security badges with our photos on it to make things nice and secure. So that's my year-end update for the tech department. Any questions?
That's wonderful.
All right. Thank you.
A lot of improvements here.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Mr. Komar?
Good evening, everybody. Unfortunately, I don't have a PowerPoint, but can listen to me for a couple minutes now. So the elementary, as Dr. Vargo said, getting back in the swing of things. At first, I think people were upset about coming back on that Thursday, Friday, but I think it actually benefited us in a lot of ways as far as getting back into the routines and not, especially with most districts being off on Monday, it's a tough transition, and I think it was an easier transition for staff and students to come back. So look at the positive. So we'll be looking at Firefly testing. So I'm anxious to see. I know our teachers have put a ton of work in. We got a lot of good, consistent things going on. So anxious to see through that Firefly testing, which is taking the place of the CDTs as a predictor for the PSSAs. How we're doing grades 3 through 5. With looking, and this just happened this week. I got an email about a grant-funded program. John Pritikin, who does like feats of strength as far as a assembly for the students. So kind of a real quick turnaround for me because I like to book things, far in advance and have things on the calendar. And but it is grant funded, so I do want to take advantage of that. But I know Dr. Keeler brought him in several years ago, but I don't think any of these current students saw it. But he Ben Steele and rips phone books and stuff, and then talks about positive message and anti-bullying things. So I think it's just a 35-minute presentation, but I thought that'd be a, kind of a fun thing to do. So that'd be either the 23rd or the 24th. We'd be looking at that. Yeah, I was looking at January. I was like, wow, it's, everything's so compact, like December, Christmas, and then January, we have a little bit of a lull. So I think that would be nice to do that. End of February, we'll have the Kids on the Block show through the Children's Institute Outreach Program. Again, that was a free grant-funded program they're bringing in about inclusive practices. And then again, in March, we'll be doing agricultural literacy program. So there'll be some farmers coming in to talk about how literacy impacts agriculture and the connection between those two. And again, that's a completely free program. So definitely looking for, to bring some outside things in to, help our kids and, kind of spice things up when we can. For professional learning communities, again, we've been working through our PBIS programs, MTSS programs. This week, as Mr. Barker said, will be several elementary teachers, myself and IT will be looking to make updates for the report cards as we're coming up to that time again. There was some updates for the last quarter, but we just want to make sure everything's aligned and everything, especially on the parent side, they're seeing things, the way we want that to be presented and how they, to make that as user friendly as possible. Special education, we have for the month of January, we got 14 IEP meetings scheduled, 4 GIEPs, no 504s this month as of now. And then MTSS, we have 6 students currently in the MTSS program. And again, appreciate all the efforts of staff in working through that. Any questions for me? All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mets Environmental.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. I just want to go over some things that happened recently at the school and some things that are coming up. During Christmas break, we actually had one of the boilers go down, and nothing much of a, Christmas miracle. We had air come out. They were able to come out, and we had a guy at a supplier that actually had the actuator on hand, which is hard to get. In such a short notice, he was able to come in and get it up and running the same day. So we're good there. School's running, boiler's running. Right now, though, sadly, we do have the one of the main hot water pumps. The seal is leaking. AIR is getting a quote from me on that now. Boiler's running, water's moving. We're still good. It is leaking. I also have McClure coming here tomorrow at 11 o'clock to take a look, see what's going to cost to get a repair on that. It's not cheap. I hate saying that. It's just not. So we'll make sure that is taken care of as soon as possible. Also, we have Arnold's and Sons. They're coming out to do some backflow preventive valve repairs. They're going to be out here hopefully on Martin Luther King Day to get that stuff sorted out for us, taken care of. And then I also have the elevator inspector coming tomorrow. We're going to be walking around with him, making sure everything's up to code and where it needs to be. And then I also have Ecolab coming out for a dishwasher inspection, also on Martin Luther King Day as well. So just giving you a heads up on some of the repairs and some of the stuff that happened over Christmas break and what we need to get done here. So I would also like to look into, hopefully next year for the budget, I'd like to start having some major parts on hand, motors, more expensive parts that you can't normally get, right away. That way we have backups in case anything starts to happen. We see it, we can prevent it, we can make it move a lot quicker than waiting. Some of these parts take up to 6 months to get sometimes, and they're only to get more expensive as we move on. So I'd like to start having some stuff on hand so we have it here and we can have it switched out as soon as possible. So any questions for me?
I have a question.
Yeah.
This might not fall under you, it might fall under someone else.
Okay.
What do we have to do to get a new American flag out front?
I have it now.
Excellent.
As soon as we can get it up, I promise.
Excellent.
Yep.
Thank you.
Already got it. Just got it actually on Monday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. Any other questions? Cool. Thank you very much.
Tess is not here. Business report, Mr. Cessna.
Good evening, everybody. Just a quick synopsis of what's going on in the business office. December and January tend to be relatively busy months just because it's the year end and with the holidays shortens the number of work days. But what we've been Working on, in December, we had a representative from our liability insurance carrier visit. We took a tour of the building and grounds, and they made some recommendations which we've already either implemented or taken care of or will be taken care of. And they were very minor in I guess just minor comments. Coming up in January, we have what's called a certified workplace safety audit. The district has a safety committee, and by having that committee, we do earn credits on our insurance policy rates. And this is just a audit by the PA Department of Labor and Industry. They come out, make sure that we're taking minutes, have agendas. I think everybody in the committee has to be certified, go through some training, and they're just following up and making sure we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Towards the end of January, we have a food service procurement review, and that's being conducted by the Pennsylvania Department of Ed Bureau of Food and Nutrition. And along with those audits, month of January also brings along W-2s, 1099s, payroll tax reports, getting those all submitted for the year end. And last but not least, we're still working at finalizing our June 30th, 2024 audit. And that is due by the end of March. With the holidays, we didn't make a lot of movement with finalizing it, but over the next couple of weeks, we're close. And I suspect the auditors will be out and we'll be wrapping that up very soon. So with that, that's my report. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them. If not, let me just shoot me an email or give me a call if you have any other questions.
Thank you.
Ms. Mondo?
Happy 2025. Kindergarten was thrilled to have Santa and friends visit them before break. Each kindergarten student also received a letter from Santa and some holiday magic courtesy of the college composition class. First graders were excited to make handprint Christmas trees to give to their families, and the first grade teachers want to thank the parents and volunteers who made that a success. Mrs. DeWitt's public speaking students are working on their demonstration speeches. 7th grade geography students are finishing up learning about human geography and culture around the world. They're completing a culminating assignment that involves researching Disney movies like Encanto, Coco, and Brave, the countries of origins, the customs, the language, religion, and more, and the story and fable that's behind the Disney movie as part of their presentation. The special education department's holiday sale was a huge success. 4 of our students will represent Leechburg at the Ali Kiski Honors Band, hosted by Highlands and Deer Lakes. That's on January 16th and 17th. So big shout out to Jillian Bortz, Vivian Kennerdale, Chloe Munt, and Joey Stenonis. And on January 23rd through the 25th, 3 of those 4, Jillian, Chloe, and Joey, will also be representing Leechburg at the PMEA District 3 Band. I don't know what they call that. They left that word out. I don't know what it's called. Whatever. That's at Indiana. I want to highlight the PATH program and all of the good things that Ms. Freddie has been doing to increase funds for that program. We have had an increase in demand for those PATH bags to go home on the weekends. Dr. Keebler graciously allowed us to have a casual week to benefit that. The staff raised $910, and then Dr. Keebler, thank you so much, matched that. So we were able to raise $1,820. Then Ms. Freddie received a $5,000 grant from the Armstrong County Community Foundation / Serving the Heart. She also received $2,500 from the Leechburg Elks to bring a total for the program to $9,320. Julie Julius, one of our wonderful elementary teachers, connected Ms. Freddie to the Katanning Elks, and they are looking into donating up to $2,000 more. So there's been a lot of good work there to support the program. Ms. Freddie wants to give some shout outs to Tass and Metz Foods for donating items and helping order to offset the operating costs. And she also wants me to publicly thank Mrs. Vigna and Mrs. Morochek, who have been instrumental in keeping things moving with the program this year. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you. For personnel items, 7.1 through 7.4, that's the athletic supplementals, the full-time paraprofessional, part-time paraprofessional for pre-K, and the full-time custodian. Is there any discussion or questions? Okay. Any discussion on the financial reports? Any discussion on the First Commonwealth Bank Administrative Rules Resolution? Discussion on the Act 1 resolution? Everyone understands that and feels able to vote on it. Any discussion on the 8.4 Ready to Learn block grant?
Just update the board on that one. That will not be voted until February with that. As a part of our Ready to Learn block grant that we received in this year's budget, the district was allocated $58,287,000. Just like the Act 1 resolution, it has to prove that we won't go above that. There are 5 stipulations that they asked us for in order to do that. And as a part of that, we will have to put a resolution together that we will either use that money to mitigate or prevent millage increases, supplement the amount for homestead or farmstead exclusions, supplement senior tax rebates, Chapter 13, mitigate or replace loss of revenue from court decisions over the last 5 years, or reduce debt. So what that resolution means is that we will make a decision that it's going to be one of those 5 items. Once we have a resolution in place, we can make that decision, and then it needs to be submitted into e-grants by February 28th. Once it's into e-grants, we're still not allowed to use this money until the 25-26 school year. So it was weird, the state put it in this year's budget, told everybody, you know, you're not equally taxed, here's a supplemental, but you're going to wait a year before you can use it. Typical for our state, but I am thankful that they put that into the budget. We are hopeful, talking to some of our legislators, that it continues to be there for the years coming. We don't know that, but it's something we'll be talking about, the resolution as well as what we will do with it during our February meeting coming up.
But we're able to spend that after July 1st of 2025.
Yes. Yeah, as soon as it goes in the next budget, starts a lot of the work we put in.
Any discussion on the field trip requests 9.1 through 9.6? Is everybody comfortable if I go to the fundraising requests? Any questions or discussion on 10.1 through 10.4? Any discussion or questions on the professional development requests, items 11.1 through 11.3? Superintendent report, Dr. Hubler.
Yeah, I just want to start off as Mr. Hollis mentioned earlier, January is School Board Appreciation Month. And I want to thank Mr. Stitt for the posters that he created that everybody has in front of them to take home, which is a small token of appreciation. Obviously, as I talked with others on there, there's no gift or anything we can put together that truly shows appreciation for what each of you do with that. I mean, the time and the commitment to doing what's involved to better the education and better the school community. It's unheard of that work that goes into that. So I would personally thank you publicly on that. With that, I know that our entire staff, all of our other employees are appreciative of what you do for them on there. So thank you for that. And it's just a nice little time to appreciate you for that. Also to the public, I want to apologize for the confusion yesterday morning, the 2-hour delay for our Lenape students. As we rolled through, we found out that it brought to my attention that there's a supplemental handbook, which is never in the regular handbook, that used to go out with it. It was stuck between the 2 buildings on that. So it was sent out. Most of the issues were with our 10th graders because they had never experienced that. There's different rules and regulations. If Lenape has a 2-hour delay, we don't have one. If we have one, they don't have one. They're canceled, we're canceled, all those. So it's spelled out. So Dr. Vargo sent that out to our 10th graders. My recommendation is that we're going to put that into the whole handbook for next year, so it doesn't matter if you're at Lenape or not, everybody should get that one. And that was an oversight by us when we did this last summer and approved those things, that wasn't a part of that. So I do apologize to those families with that. We're gonna put a calendar committee together, myself and the staff, so that we can bring a recommendation to the board next month with that. So there are 8 members of the committee, and we're gonna meet on January 20th to start off, have some discussions with that. Whether we bring 1, 2, 4, whatever we think we can come together, I think we'll be able to agree upon a pretty good opportunity for our students and our staff going through that. So that will be on the February agenda. Our strategic plan, our comp plan was approved last week, and another part on February, we will be looking to approve a contract as we went through our facility updates and looking at things, and as we've just heard through maintenance, our boilers are way overdue for replacement on that. As a part of that, we would like to make recommendations for facility updates this summer of new boilers and finishing the HVAC over on the student side of the building. Just to give an update to the board and for the staff on that, who we were told 2 years ago when that was all done that we would all have our own controls and it would all work. It does work up on this side of the building. It doesn't work on this side of the building. They were never connected. They needed new boilers in here. It is going to be a expensive project with that, so I will be working up to next month to make recommendations with that. We have options of using capital improvement monies out of our general fund on that. We're looking at bonds, and it may be a mixture of that going on, and then making a recommendation for the summer of 2026 to fix any of the remaining roofs that need done, as well as windows, and then the board will look at whether we're going to do bathrooms, science labs, auditorium, looking at that. That will all be part of a one discussion with that. I need to make sure that our boilers, as we found out, if our boilers go out, we may be shut down for a month. So that's not something we can play with. It's been pushed off for way too long. So I am going to bring to contract on that we have a deal to get the boilers HVAC system updated this upcoming summer. There will be more information coming out for that. We'll ultimately have a lot of information at the next board meeting to present to you on what my recommendation will be, and then you guys can decide how we do that on that part. Going back to that though, into the strategic plan, once I have the comp plan done, we have all the other pieces done. Once that's decided next month, that will all be put together, and we can finally put a wrap on our strategic plan over the next 4 years. I would like to have that done, approved on there, and then we can have it published where I want a nice 6 to 8 page document that's professionally done that we can share with the community of what our plan is over the next 3 to 4 years with that. And it's going to be an ongoing plan, but I want the public to know. We put a lot of time into that a year ago on that, but as each piece came out with that, I wanted to make sure that we have financial pieces in there. We have the facility plan in there, because that's really what takes precedent on how we operate as a district with that. And I think before we had different spokes going from that wheel, and then sometimes the spoke broke and we didn't have a plan to fix it on that one. I want to make sure we have everything in place as we move forward so that we can adjust that as we go. Just an update on PCCD grant that we got 2 years ago, and it was part of our behavior coach, our social worker, a lot of that when we were going through the process to put those in place. The state approved it, but then you had to go through the process of interviewing, hiring, partnering. So there was time delays on that, because the money was approved for this time that we didn't use it. We had about $58,000 left over in there. It was supposed to be spent by December. I applied for an extension and got it through June, and we also applied to have that changed over, to put a new PA system in the school. So that was something we were going to do already. It's going to be roughly $50,000. We're going to have to put out bids for that, and we'll go through that process with it. But we would now not have to use local funds for that. We'll be able to use the remaining money out of that grant. I would apologize for the delay. We made this extension like November 3rd. I just heard back this week. They're not into the system too often with that as they go through, but it's a savings for the district, and we're being upgraded. It's much needed. Our PA system is not the best on there. I can't say Dr. Bargo does a great job of getting the bell schedule changed now as we go through that, but it will be a nice update for the following year. So we'll have that going in June. That's done before the end of this school or this fiscal year on that part of it. I think that Mr. Gilmore talked about the PSSA assessments using Firefly this year, the entire district for PSSAs and Keystones. will be testing online. It is a huge step on that. I made the decision 6-8 months ago with that, knowing that in 2026 it was going to be required that there were no more paper tests with that. So my thought on that was, hey, let's jump into it, see what we're getting before we start doing it mandated on that. So the firefly, we're going to work a little bit on the 20th on that. We'll get the kids working with that. Hopefully get 2 of those in before they test in the spring on that. It's just another piece of data that we can use with our kibbles, with our GMAT, our assessments, our star reader, star math on there, and get some triangulation of data so we're not stuck on one point. Kids may test on one system better than the other and really look at where we're going. So I think it's pretty exciting for those things. Other than that, we're going to keep rolling as we go through January. Any questions on anything else?
Can you just confirm something again? We did say that the boiler broke part of it, and then Adam was able to replace that one part of it.
The actuator broke, and honestly, as he said, sometimes that might have been a 2-month wait.
Sure.
Johnson Control and Butler, the guy that was there, they had it, so we were lucky. I'm going to stop talking about it because I just want to get through till June when we can get that replaced. But it should have been done previously on that.
Sure. Just so we're all on the same page again. I know we've talked about it before. How old is the boiler, or how young? Maybe depending on how you want to say it.
Yeah, so it was when the renovation in 95 were on. I believe they're supposed to be 20 years, so we've exceeded the lifespan on this.
Right. I just wanted to make that known again, that we're not just like buying something new that we just did a few years ago.
Yeah, no, we did, just so everybody knows and the public knows, we did do boilers 2 years ago, but it was the other set that's over on the Baker building, right by the cafeteria on that.
Thank you.
And the new ones also will save some money with the efficiency of them. There's some big, old looking boilers down there, in my opinion,
Thanks.
Thank you.
We have the bus schedule changes, the Lenape Technical School election of officers, and then we will need to, in our next meeting, vote on new appointments for Lenape, Armstrong County Tax Claim, alternate Armstrong County Tax Claim, and PSBA. Any questions or discussion on that? Any questions on the cafeteria support secretary job description?
And I'm just gonna ask if we approve that, I'm gonna ask that we approve it with the notion that it will be adjusted a little bit, sent to the board for approval, and then we'll go to both the association and our solicitor to go through, and hopefully to have it done before the next meeting, but I want to make sure everybody has a chance to review that on that part of it.
Do we have any public comment on non-agenda items? Can we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Meeting adjourned at 7:01. We'll now move into call to order the regular board meeting, January 8th, 2025 of the Leechburg Area School District. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, sure.
administration, if you'd like to leave, you can go
Thank-
out before we go. Thank you, Mr. Lovely.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Roll call, please. Here.
Dunbar. Mrs. Knight. Mr. Left. Here. Mr. Lawrence. Here. Mr. Mack.
Here.
Schmaltz.
Here.
Ms. Stewart.
I'm here.
Mr. Townsend. Up here.
Do we have any public comment on agenda items this evening? Can we have a motion to approve the meeting minutes for December 2024, please?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to approve the following 24-25 athletic supplementals as submitted pending successful completion of all required paperwork and clearances. Ed Krieger, baseball assistant coach, paid. Bob Bucci, baseball assistant coach, volunteer. And Bob Bucci, game day worker.
Motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to approve the full-time paraprofessional as submitted pending successful completion of all required paperwork and clearances. This will be Carly Henry in the full-time paraprofessional position.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Are we tabling this? Yes. Item 4.3. Do we need a motion to table that?
You do.
Okay. A motion to table 4.3, the part-time paraprofessional for pre-K. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Motion is needed to approve the full-time custodian as submitted pending successful completion of all required paperwork and clearances. Rachel Ecker, full-time custodian.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to acknowledge receipt of the following financial reports and to ratify the expenditures expressly set forth therein. Capital reserve expenditures, capital reserve revenue, construction fund expenditures, construction fund revenue, food service expenditures, food service revenue, general fund expenditure, general fund revenue, student activity fund monthly report, cash receipts list, treasurer's report, and the check detail reports.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to approve the First Commonwealth Bank Administrative Rules Resolution as submitted.
So moved.
Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to approve the 25-26 Act 1 resolution as submitted.
Motion.
Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to approve. Okay. A motion is needed to table item 5.4, the Ready to Learn Block Grant Tax Equity Supplement Resolution.
Motion.
Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to combine and approve field trip requests 9.1 through 9.6 as submitted.
So moved.
I think it's 6 point. Does it matter? Is this a nine?
Mine probably has a different number, so,
I don't know if I'm mad. I just.
6.1.
okay, mine does say 9.1. It may just modify it, yeah. How about, a motion is needed to combine and approve all field trip requests as submitted. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to combine and approve all fundraising requests as submitted. For me, it says 10.1 to 10.4.
Yeah, I just did that.
Yeah. Yeah,
But now, you said all, so you're right.
Yeah.
It's easier too. You don't have to read all that.
yeah. I'll have to just try to remember to do that. It's okay. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to combine and approve all professional development requests as submitted.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion?
I guess if we ever wanted to pull one out, then we would just say.
Sure.
Pull out.
Yes, and please, if we can make the motion and then we can, in the discussion, you can tell me to pull one out, I guess. Yeah. Or motion? Second, do we have that? Okay, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to approve the bus schedule changes as submitted.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to authorize the board secretary to cast the Lenape Technical School, Armstrong County Area Vocational Technical School ballots for the 2025 JOC election of officers.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion?
I do have a question on that.
Sure.
Mr. Lovelace, you might be able to answer this. Are they both from Armstrong School District? Are they both from two different school districts?
They're both from Armstrong.
They're both from Armstrong. It doesn't matter. I'm just wondering for my knowledge.
You mean all the districts?
No, these two specifically for president, vice president, are they both from Armstrong School District or are they from two separate school districts? Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed.
We need to look at this motion will go to 2027, not 26.
Okay,
It's a 2-year.
okay. We need a motion to appoint someone. Okay. Mr. Lovelace. Is this something that Mr. Drumeyer has also done?
His is up in 2026, so they want 2 different.
Okay.
terms with that.
Okay.
So I apologize, just so the public knows this, we should have done this last month with it. We looked at when the 2 president, vice president went through, we got caught up with that on that and thought that that was the right one. So in the future, our elected ones will be done in December, and then we'll approve the board for president, vice president, in January on that.
That extends beyond the term. Doesn't matter? It's a 2-year.
I would think, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. To the Lenape Joint Operating Committee for a term to expire in December 2027. A motion is needed to appoint Mr. Lovelace.
Second.
Any discussion?
He does a fine job.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Lovelace.
Thank you. And Mr. Dunbar, that's not good to you.
All in favor?
On those roads at night, and back.
Thank you, Mr. Lovelace.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to appoint anyone to the Armstrong County Tax Claim Commission for a 1-year term.
I would make a motion to replace, not replace, just leave you on there.
Thank you. Okay. Is- Any discussion?
We used to do this with Mr. Brady too. There's never.
It's the Armstrong County tax claim. I did it last year.
Oh, I said it's a lot of work, which is not true. You know, because they never did a meeting.
No.
I mean, we need to have somebody ready to go when there is.
Yeah. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all for this opportunity. A motion is needed to appoint. A motion is needed to appoint a school board member to an alternate for the Armstrong County Tax Claim Commission to serve in the event of the delegate's absence for a 1-year term. Yeah. That's,
I'll make the,
Oh, go ahead.
I'll make the motion to retain Mr. Maxon as the alternate to the Armstrong County Tax Claim Commission to serve as an event of the delegate's absence for a 1-year term.
second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to nominate or appoint someone to the PSBA Association Liaison for a 1-year term. I nominate or would like to appoint Mr. Paulus. Any discussion?
And I just think for discussion purposes, as we go through this and we're having one board meeting a month, we probably should have that conversation during the first meeting. That would be the name, we would know to go on there. But we're learning as we go through.
Yeah.
that part, but I'll make note of that so we do that.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Candy, yours was 2 years?
I'm not up yet, so
Okay, good, okay.
I'm just always here.
No, I mean, those are,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
A motion is needed to approve the cafeteria support secretary job description as submitted.
And we add that piece of just with approval of the board and solicitor.
With approval of the board and review by our solicitor
Our solicitor and the association.
and the association's solicitor.
Second.
Discussion.
so some of those things will.
Yeah, a couple of those I'll adjust until we know what that looks like on our discussion. I'll work with the association on that. With that, I'll give it to you first. Once we're good, they're good, we'll get it to our solicitor. And agree. Just that will allow us to get it done sooner rather than later. We don't have to wait till next month on that. And if there's something that's questionable, we'll wait till February so we can discuss it.
Okay, that's, I think it's fine.
I apologize for that. It was with the holidays when we jumped in there when I sent it. I forgot to get it done earlier. I had it in there, so we just had some discussions today with it.
Okay.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Do we have any public comment on non-agenda items this evening? The combined public work session regular school board meeting will be held on Wednesday, February 12th at 6 p.m. in the Leechburg High School Library. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned at 7:15.
Don't forget to turn your ballots in.